Coming up, the Ravens make their third appearance on primetime this season. Colts look for their first win in Baltimore since 2009. Next on Monday Night.
The Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance. We are inside M&T Bank, Baltimore, Maryland. Here's the scene a short time ago. And through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Indianapolis Colts. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at our visitors coming into play here. They know coming in they've got to be at their best because they're facing one of the better overall defenses in the NFL.
And this is not one of the better offenses around in terms of running the football. So they understand that they're going to be put to the test a bit. The big plays in the run game, they haven't been there of late. So maybe that means we'll see them shake things up a little bit. Some RPOs, some touch passes, some draw plays, anything to try and gain a little bit of momentum.
The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. Here's Isaiah Rodgers to return, and he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Colts getting ready to take over for the first time, and you get a look at their 6-year quarterback in his first season wearing the horseshoe. It's Carson Wentz.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well. Won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Wentz going to throw. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Tyus Bowser. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
2 plays so far, run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on 3rd. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Looking for Campbell downfield. And this is dropped. Oh, boy. A chance for a big play early, but he could not secure it.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Fielded just inside the 30. A solid stiff arm. A good kick that time, but also a pretty good 15-yard return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Time to see this wide-open Baltimore offense go to work, and leading them, pretty darn good one. Lamar Jackson out of Louisville.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it, because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. One touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 44. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Escaping the pressure right. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Jackson now. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. And the numbers for Andrews last week: 5 catches, 67 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. Throwing is Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. First, and now look at this. Big gain, the fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain. Now it's Jackson. They'll roll him out right. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. He was trying to find his tight end, Josh Oliver. And now it's 2nd down. So we'll look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Flush to his right. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Colts pick it up. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. Past the 20. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Oh, backbreaker. That'll drive the coach, the offensive coordinator, just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone, can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense, though? They're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? Scoop and score is their motto, and they just did it.
Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You've just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Quiddy Pay in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. Oh, what a move. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Colts as they have it 1st and 10 at the 45. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Wentz going to give this to Taylor. And once again, they stop him behind the line. Great job by this Ravens defense. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Wentz. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn it into 1st downs and hopefully points.
Jackson on 1st down. And that'll be caught by the big tight end, Andrews. Short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Here's 2nd and a yard. Out of the pistol, here's Williams. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense, and know what they say. Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Two minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. On 3rd and 1, Jackson flushed out right. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Here we go with Williams. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Grover Stewart coming right up the 9. Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Jackson escaping the pressure right. This will be caught by Brown. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears try to go for it on 4th. They're going to try and throw. Slings it to Andrews, and it's complete. The tight end has it. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively pure. And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Oh, man, partner, this is something cornerbacks love to do, and that's outthink a quarterback. If you get a sense that they're going to throw a quick out route or a quick hitch, you can just lay back an extra yard or 2, but then really put your foot in the turf and drive on the football. And here I think he baited the quarterback into the throw and made it pay off.
And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. Wentz to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
So we reach halftime here in a 10-point. We now proceed to the start of the second half.
Both teams going back through their game plans, making their final halftime adjustments. And for the call of the second half, we go back up to Baltimore and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
And they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them because...
And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Give the sack to Kamoko Toure.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end, Andrews. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun, Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Darius Leonard, the linebacker, able to break that one up.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid fourth down conversion, and defensively pure frustration. They'll contain him to just 4, second down, and they're going to speed things up here. To throw again on second down. Jackson, flush to his right. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing. They're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
In to make the stop, Patrick Queen, the linebacker, the Ravens' leading tackler in 2020.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
From the 24, Wentz. Over the middle, complete. It's Campbell. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Second down, another run with Taylor.
And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway, because that's your strength.
Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Blankenship's kick is good.
And that'll push the lead up to 13-0.
So they're able to build on things here with a field goal, but, you know, the question is how much longer can they really rely on their defense to pitch a shutout?
That's a great question, because you know the guys on the other sideline are saying, give us the ball. We want another shot at this. So, yes, tight game, you'll take the 3. But this game, it's far from over.
And able to get this out to the 25.
Okay, baby, let's go.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Flushed out right. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down. And now they're in the hurry-up.
58's the mic. 58's the mic. He's tired of you. He's tired of us.
From the 40 now on second down. Jackson escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
He held on just long enough.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the fourth. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. And now Jackson will look to throw it. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. 3 yards the gain there, second down. Here's Jackson to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
All day, baby.
Well, Lamar Jackson, for all the talents of escaping pressure that he possesses, he was helpless to do much of anything there. He had no chance.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the fourth. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Big stop on the turnover on downs to get the football back, and now it's just all about salting this one away.
Yeah, just slowly bleed the clock away. Clock's definitely on your side. And, you know, when we talk about analytics in the game, what is this one? Advanced win metrics? Because if you take care of the football here, bleed the clock down with about 95% chance of winning it.
I'd say 95 or better. And I know you always say it, every coach does. It's just protecting the football at this point.
And knowing that the defensive guys, they're coming after the ball more than they are the person. They want to knock it free.
They run once more with Taylor. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. So Lamar Jackson in the offense. Down by 13. A little under 2.5 to go. Now it's Jackson. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. In on the sack, the former Buckeye, Tyquan Lewis. Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson connects with Duvernay. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now Jackson. Flush to his right. Finding Watkins. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Quiddy Pay in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. Here's Jackson. Steps away to his left. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Colts pick it up.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they're still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. And they will take a knee here. Wentz with a kneel down, and that will be the final act of this game.
Brandon, I can just tell you from experience, there's nothing like pitching a shutout on defense, but even more so when it's a tight game. I mean, when every defensive play is crucial and you don't give up any points, boy, they're going to feel awfully good about themselves after this one.
Yeah, exactly. The offense wasn't humming, but, hey, all they needed was... Well, you can't score 1 point. All they needed was 2 points. Well, you can't score 2 points on offense. All they needed was at least 3, and they got what they needed.
They got what they needed. Exactly right.
So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory, and they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean,
did enough, though. Did enough. But, yeah, you're right.
Most games, it wouldn't have been enough. So they've got to go into the locker room and applaud their defensive mates and say, guys, you really carried us today. We'll try and get you back next time. But as for today, you guys were nails out there.
So for Indianapolis, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they will get a home date next week against the Los Angeles Chargers.